With this mod pack, you can get more than 6 times the FPS than vanilla, as well as zoom, replay mod, connected textures, shader support, and more. Hello everyone, welcome back, and today I'm going to be going over an insane performance mod pack that I've made and you can get it for yourself. This video is going to be split into 3 parts. How to install the mod pack, what each mod does, and finally I'm going to compare the mod pack against default Minecraft and Optifine in a few tests. But without further ado, let's get into the installation. So for the first step in installing the mod pack, you're going to want to open up the web browser of your choice, and either go to the link in the description or go to fabricmc.net. Once you're here, all you're going to want to do is just click download here. And then if you're on a Mac or Linux, you would download the universal jar, and if you're on Windows, obviously you just click download for Windows. Once it's done downloading, it should just show up in your downloads folder or wherever you have your downloads set to, and it should be called fabricinstaller.exe. All you're going to want to do is just run this, so just double click it. Once it's open, just make sure you have Minecraft version 1.19.2 and create profile on. And then you can just click install. It should say it's done installing, and then you can just pop straight over to your Minecraft launcher. Once your Minecraft launcher is open, you should see Fabric Loader 1.19.2 somewhere right here. And now it's actually time to download the mod pack. So go back and open the web browser of your choice. And once again, you're going to go to the description, and you should see the mod pack download link. It'll just be a media file link. I have it copied, but it'll take you to this page. The file should be called Ultimate FPS, and you're just going to click download right here, and just give it a moment to download. Once that is done downloading, it should just show up in your downloads folder, or again, wherever you have your downloads set to. And all you're going to want to do is just right click it, and then you should see extract all, and then just click extract. Once it's done extracting, you should have an Ultimate FPS folder right here. You're actually just going to leave that alone for now and hit Windows R. And in the bottom left, you should see a run. And here, just type %appdata%, just like this, and then click OK. And it'll take you to here. You should see .minecraft, just open that. In here, you should be able to find a mods folder. If you don't have a mods folder in here, you can just create one. But you're just gonna open up this mods folder, and then you are also gonna want to open up the Ultimate FPS folder, and you're gonna drag all the mods into your mods folder, just every single one. The credits document, you can actually just delete this, so you don't actually have to move it over. It's just to give credits to all the mods. So yeah, you can just delete it. But yeah, all the mods should be in here. And then if you pop straight over to your Minecraft launcher, and when you load up the game, make sure to use Fabric Loader 1.19.2. If you click play, it should open up and you'll have all the mods installed. Now that you have all the mods installed, I'm going to go very briefly over the best settings to use to get to the best FPS, and just the best settings, that I would personally use. So you're going to want to go to Options, Video Settings, and for your render distance, shadow distance, and simulation distance, I would just set this to 8. And then make sure you have full screen on, VSync off, and I would set your max frame rate to unlimited. Under quality, you should just be able to turn these all to fancy, and you should be able to run it just fine, and it'll make your game look pretty good. And you don't really actually have to change anything in here. Honestly, default should be perfectly fine. Under performance, just make sure you have your chunk update threads to either default or the max you can set it to. Always defer chunk updates. I would turn this on, but if you are getting visual lag in the world, I would try turning this off. And then all these options right here, make sure these are all on. They will help your FPS, and they don't actually make your game look worse, so definitely turn these on. Make sure cold leaves is on, and cold leaves depth, I would probably set this to 2. 4 will look the best, but it'll also run the worst. 1 will look the worst, but it'll, run the best. But yeah, I think just 2 looks really good, and it's a good balance between performance and quality. Under advanced, just make sure you have allow direct memory access on and use persistent mapping on. And that's all you have to change. Make sure you leave CPU render head limit and chunk memory locator set to default. Under more culling, I would just leave these all at default. Animations, you can turn these off, although I wouldn't really recommend it. Yeah, you would get more performance, but your game would look kind of boring. Same goes with particles and details. Under render, I would also just leave these all at default. You can disable fog if you want. That can be useful, especially if you're like exploring in the nether or whatever. But I'm just going to leave it at default. And under extras, this is just if you want like show FPS or show coordinates. You can change your cloud height. Also, if you're on a Mac, you can turn on reduced resolution on Mac OS. So if you're not getting enough performance on a Mac, I would definitely turn this on. It'll increase your performance a lot, but it'll half the resolution on your display, so your game might not look as good, but you'll definitely get like way more performance. So yeah, that is all the video settings. If you want connected textures, make sure under resource packs that you have continuity default and continuity glass pane culling on, as these basically just add connected textures. It comes with one of the mods in the mod pack, so they should already be in here for you. And then lastly, under your mods, all the mod settings should be fine except for repo mod. So if you scroll down and find repo mod, in the top right you should see a configure button. I would recommend turning off automatic recording, as it'll just start recording every time you're like, on a world, on a server, whatever. And this is kind of annoying. It'll be recording when you don't want it to, and it can also just take up space. And if you're not even using repo mod, you can also just turn record server and record single player off. But yeah, I would just recommend turning automatic recording off. But that is actually all the settings you're going to need for the mod pack. So now you can go play, and you should be getting plenty of FPS, and your game should look pretty good as well. Now I'm going to quickly go over what each mod does. Better Beds changes how beds are rendered to increase FPS. C2ME improves the chunk performance of Minecraft. Continuity adds connected textures. Coalesce leaves, if it wasn't obvious by the title, Coalesce leaves. Debugify fixes some bugs found on the bug tracker. Dynamic FPS changes Minecraft's FPS when it's running in the background, so it doesn't hog resources. Enhanced block entities optimizes block entity rendering. Entity collision FPS fix removes client-side collision checks, which boosts FPS. Entity culling hides entities that are not visible. Exordium lowers the FPS of your hotbar and other GUI to save resources. Fast Chest changes how chests are rendered. Forget Me Chunk fixes a lag spike sometimes caused when exiting a chunk. I Know What I'm Doing removes tutorial cards. Indium is an add-on to Sodium, allowing connected textures to work. Iris Shaders add shader support and sure to work with most Optifine shader packs. Krypton optimizes the Minecraft networking stack and entity tracker. Lazy DFU helps the game load faster. Lithium adds a ton of performance improvements to the game all across the board. Logical Zoom adds a zoom similar to Optifine's zoom. Memory Leak Fix obviously fixes memory leaks. Mod Menu adds a list to view all the mods you have installed. More culling changes how multiple types of culling are handled to improve performance. No Fade removes fade out animations when loading up the game or loading resource packs. Replay Mod allows you to record Minecraft with a third-person camera. Smooth Boot helps the game load up faster. Sodium improves frame rates, reduces microstutter, and fixes graphical issues in Minecraft. Starlight rewrites the lighting engine to fix performance and errors. And finally, Very Many Players improves performance on servers with high player counts. Yeah, it's a lot of mods, but it really does help your performance, and I'm going to go prove that with the next part of this video, the testing. I'm going to compare this mod pack against default Minecraft and Optifine, all with the same settings. Keep in mind, I am going to be recording, which puts a lot of strain on my laptop, so that's why my FPS is much lower than it normally would be. Let's start with single player performance. Default Minecraft was practically unplayable. When I first loaded in, I was getting around 5 to 10 FPS. Although once most of my chunks were loaded in, it averaged around 50 FPS until I tried to load in some new chunks. Yeah, not good. A horrible experience overall, and it's pretty unplayable. Using the same seed, Optifine performed significantly better, averaging around 70 FPS, and even lag spikes while loading chunks only dropped me to around 40 FPS. Even while flying, the FPS was still maintaining above 50, although as you can see, it started making my recording lag really bad. So keep in mind, Optifine is a performance hog, and it'll probably start making your other applications lag. I would say Optifine is probably best at running single player worlds, especially if you use all the settings in the performance tab, most of which benefiting single player performance. Even with that, it still loses to the mod pack, which consistently got over 100 FPS. I didn't experience any frame drops unlike Optifine where they seem to happen regularly. The chunk generation was much faster and smoother, even while flying it gave me around 80 to 100 FPS while recording perfectly fine. Now let's go to where the mod pack really shines against default Minecraft and Optifine. Multiplayer. I'm going to be playing an MCC Island Sky Battle, which is pretty hard to run. Default Minecraft got around 30 FPS with minimal frame drops, which actually ended up being pretty playable. Optifine got around 50 to 60 FPS, but in some parts of the map it would drop to around 40. The mod pack easily doubled Optifine's performance, always maintaining above 100 FPS, usually averaging around 120. Well, there's the proof. The The mod pack got more than double Optifine's performance while being significantly less resource intensive, and unfortunately, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching, I hope this helped, and I will see you all in the next one. Later!